Welcome to Rock Buzz. Today we're going to head back to 1992 and look at what was one of the most anticipated tours of the time, the Guns N' Roses and Metallica 1992 Stadium Tour. What happened during the tour is now metal history, which we will surely dissect more at a later time. The interview videos used in our production are actual animated photos with sound-alike voices trained and generated using AI tools. All artists are faithfully represented by the original published text. And now on to the article. What do you get when you combine the two hottest bands in the metal kingdom and place them in the same place at the same time? You get the tour of the year, that's what. When Guns N' Roses and Metallica agreed to combine forces for a massive summer-long attack on outdoor stadiums last May, a scream of joy could be heard from rock fans everywhere, and a sigh of relief could be heard from concert promoters. It's certainly not a secret that the 1990s have been a bust for concerts so far, with all but a handful of acts needing to scale down both their shows and their aspirations in order to succeed in our recessionary economy. Among the few who've managed to survive and prosper during these hard times have been Guns N' Roses and Metallica, both of whom had completed highly successful indoor arena tours on their own prior to making their joint venture announcement. But going from 20,000-seat arenas to 80,000-seat stadiums is a big step, even for the biggest bands in metal. The move took balls, brains, and bucks, but everyone involved figures it to be the natural next step for all involved.
I think we'd actually rather play clubs than stadiums. But right now, going outdoors is the thing to do. I remember when we did it on the Monsters of Rock tour a few years ago, we really didn't know what to expect, but that worked out real well. I think we just take the feeling that we're in a club and project it into the stadium. Playing a full arena tour as we did earlier in the year really helps us do that.
Playing shows in stadiums from coast to coast will serve as a true test of metal's ever-growing commercial resurgence. Just a year ago, some so-called experts were saying that the form had lost its ability to put people into seats, citing an endless array of tours by established stars ranging from Judas Priest to David Lee Roth as evidence to support their claim. What they hadn't figured on was a metal renaissance sparked by the multi-platinum success of Guns N' Roses and Metallica, while other bands, most notably Nirvana, who were once rumored to be part of this massive summer bill but chose to decline the offer due to their disagreements with Guns N' Roses over the latter's supposed degradation of women in their lyrics, gave a helping hand to this resurgence. Guns and Metallica, with combined sales in excess of 10 million for their most recent releases, are certainly the kings of the metal mountain.
We've been talking about doing this for at least 3 years.
Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash said,
I guess we could have done it on our own, but we wanted to put together a show where people really get their money's worth, a heavy-duty rock show from beginning to end.
The Gunners' happiness will be reflected by the smiling faces of concert promoters across the land, who will see their empty cash registers bulge with cash once again. Already over 80% of available tickets for this GNR and Metallica extravaganza have been gobbled up, at an average price of $27.50 a shot, with day of show sales seemingly destined to make virtually every concert a total sellout. Scalpers in certain northeastern areas are already advertising prime tickets for $300 each. Even merchandisers, the guys who produce the t-shirts, caps, and tour books for such an event, are jumping for joy, and with good reason. Metallica and Guns N' Roses are two of the top merchandising bands around, with their fans dropping an average of $10 each for every person attending one of their concerts. With these two giants combining forces, the merchandising mavens are walking around with dollar signs in their eyes. This could be one of the hottest properties in years, one of the industry's top merchandisers said. We're planning special t-shirts, tour books, and jackets for this event. We believe the sky could be the limit. The sky may well be the limit if, of course, everything goes as planned. When dealing with some of the tempestuous personalities involved with bands such as these, however, anything's possible. Fans who attended shows by Guns N' Roses this past winter know full well that the band frequently appeared as much as 2 hours late, causing heavy consternation among fans and critics alike. But supposedly, Guns' main man, Axl Rose, has undergone a major personality shift. After going through therapy, he is apparently a new man, calmer and more together than ever. But that still doesn't mean that the band is going to be on time. and that's an obvious worry for everyone associated with this tour. How hard will it be to keep 80,000 fans occupied on a hot summer night as they wait for the Top Gunners? It's anyone's guess. If you've stayed on top of what's going on with Axl, you know it's not his desire to be late, a spokesperson for the band's record label stated. He's learned to handle all the pressures better, and he seems far happier than he's been in years. I wouldn't want to bet on them appearing on time each night, but the fans who are there know what to expect, and they know they'll see a show they'll never forget when the band does go on stage. For the very reason of Guns N' Roses' often unpredictable nature, billing this massive tour was far from difficult. An exciting opening act, Faith No More has been given 30 minutes on stage to warm the crowd up. After approximately a 45-minute break, Metallica comes on with full stage production to play a 2-hour set that will be similar to the show they've been putting on around the world for the last 10 months. Of course, the special stage set that the band has used for their indoor shows will need to be scrapped in this special stadium setting.
Playing outdoors always presents some unique problems, but we're looking forward to it. Some people asked us who decided which band should go on first, us or Guns N' Roses. That was easy. We like going on early, they like going on late. It's not an ego thing or anything. We'll be back at home in bed before they're even ready to go on.
Exactly when will Guns N' Roses go on? Some have speculated that a 2-hour break between the end of Metallica's set and the commencement of the Gunners' show is already agreed upon. After all, it's not like the fans have been deprived of music. They've already been bombarded by nearly 3 hours worth of top-flight metal from Faith No More and Metallica prior to Guns even taking the stage. A break is needed to clear the head and restart the engines. If there was ever a time when the band's late scheduling is justified, this is it. So we've spoken to the bands, the promoters, the merchandising people, and even record label execs about how they feel about this tour of the year. But what about you? What about the fans of America who will be shelling out their hard-earned bucks to see a once-in-a-lifetime event? After all, what seems like a can't-miss proposition on paper often runs afoul when the man on the street gets a hold of it. In this case, however, it seems that fans everywhere are responding with the kind of enthusiasm one might expect. One fan from New York said, "I waited online for 6 hours for Metallica tickets last year, so I'll probably wait 12 hours for tickets to this. I couldn't even get tickets to Guns N' Roses when I wanted them. So how do you think I feel about the chance to see all those bands at the same time? Baby, I'd sell my soul for that. Those are the only bands that should be allowed to play in stadiums," a guy from San Francisco added. "I'm sure they're going to use giant screens so you can see everyone's face, and I'm never worried about the sound. With those bands, you'll be able to hear them in the next county, let alone the back row." So there you have it. The inside word on the tour of the year. It promises to take metal to a new plateau of success, with media as divergent as MTV and Time magazine all jumping on the metal bandwagon. All we know is that when bands of this caliber decide to combine forces, it takes metal to the foreright where it belongs. Of course, it'll also bring the kooks out of the woodwork, those who will claim that metal is once again corrupting the minds of the nation's young. To hell with them. Give them all a free ticket. Let them find out what millions from coast to coast already know. Metal is back and it's stronger than ever.